All right, so those of us that have some lower back stuff going on, okay, we're going to look at this extended, the arched lower back position that we keep getting stuck in, okay? We don't want to be doing too much jumping and stuff from that position. So we are going to look to, again, target below and above, okay? So again, we're looking at the hip, all right? If we don't have that internal rotation of the hip, okay, we have to make up for it somewhere, and normally that's that arching of the back. So that's the first thing that we jump on. Next is the upper back, okay, the T-spine, all right? It should be able to rotate and arch, okay? I think we're doing a lot of reaching overhead, twisting for balls. That's where we want the motion to come from. If it's frozen in place and we start using too much of the lower back, that could be causing some issues. So those are the two things that we're going to look at. You're going to lie on your backs, your hips at 90 degrees, your knees are at 90 degrees, feet are up on the wall, okay? You're going to use a foam roller or a yoga block, put it between your knees and really squeeze. Okay, at the same time, you're really gripping into the wall with your toes. You're just going to lift your hips like an inch off the floor. Okay, squeezing, holding, taking big, deep breaths. As big an inhale and as big an exhale as you can. Okay, we're trying to get the bottom ab muscles that are responsible for holding your pelvis where we want it to be in place working. So that's what we're trying to do. Okay, so again, that squeeze the roller, grip into the wall with your toes, lift your hips just a little bit off the wall or off the floor. Take some big deep breaths, trying to feel those bottom abs tightening up. Then we'll add the arms in. They reach straight up for the sky. Okay, it's like you're doing a little crunch from the top and the bottom. And again, big deep breaths as you reach up as high as you can, straight up. Okay, so for this one, again, we're trying to get that internal rotation, so the inside muscles of the hip going. Super important for the jumping athletes. So hard to tell here, but I have my hips at 90 again, my knees at 90, and they're up on the wall. Both feet are up a little bit, so bottom leg, 6 inches off the wall, and then my top leg another foot above that, and I'm just going to slide it back just a little bit so they're not one on top of the other. Okay, what I'm trying to do here is, it's a small motion, but pull my hip backwards. I almost think like my femur, the edge of my femur. I'm trying to drive it back as my stomach stays tight and while really squeezing into the foam roller. Just getting comfortable sliding back and forth, taking big deep breaths as I squeeze into the roller. Super important. We tackled the hip, that internal rotation. Now let's move up to the T-spine. Okay, so you're going to lie on your side. The bottom leg is going to be stretched long, super straight, kind of reaching through that heel. Top leg, bending your hip at 90 degrees, knee at 90 degrees on top of a roller or yoga block, and really squeezing down so that your abs stay nice and tight. Okay, you really want to try to get into that kind of pelvic tilt position that we've been practicing and lock that in before we start reaching with the arms. Okay, then you're just reaching as long as you can with that top arm, coming all the way across, trying to really initiate the motion through the shoulder. Okay, and rotating through that upper back, nice and slow, lots of reps. Again, no rotation through the lower back. This drill is similar to the last, but now you're going to be on all fours. Okay, really squeezing into the roller or yoga block again to get that pelvic tilt and that tightened abs so that we're not extending at the lower back. Then we just go hand behind the head. All right, and you're just rotating that elbow towards your other elbow and then up as high as you can. You can kind of hold it at the top there for a few seconds, take a couple big deep breaths. Okay, really trying to get that motion through the upper back and while the lower back stays in place, kind of hips tucked under. Last one, okay, same position as the last drill. Okay, I'm on all fours, squeezing the roller, stomach's tight, pelvis tilted under. All right, but now instead of rotating, I'm just looking to flex and extend. So this is that cat camel, I believe it's called. All right, arching up as high as you can, and then just sinking down low. Okay, you can see I don't have much extension there. A lot of us volleyball players will struggle in that position, so it's good to work on. Again, I want as little motion coming from the lower back as I can, and to really open up that upper back. Super tough to do. Good to practice this one often. Okay, again, remember squeezing into the roller to get a little extra activation in the hips and in the core as I arch up and down.